Hello, everyone. For those sort of wondering, I work in early childhood education, which is childcare. To those who are wondering what that is, and I've been doing that since I studied during 2013, and been working now for 2.5 years in a casual position. Sort of working in all different rooms, from 0 to 5 years old. So there's normally a range of different rooms, preschool, toddlers, nursery. They cater to all different rooms and ages. And I'm probably one of 3% of educators who work in the industry. That is due to a wide amount of information and reasons, due to poor pay, a female-dominated industry, the fear of men working in childcare. People think the worst of you, and the stigma of sort of working in childcare. It's not seen as a great industry. And I've been sort of working in it for a while now. And let me just put this guy down. For a few years. And I feel like I'm getting more and more frustrated with working in childcare. And I think that's one of the main reasons why men and women leave the childcare industry, and is because of the burnout, the sort of the workload, and that sort of thing. I think the hardest thing for me, and I just was not really fucking happy today, is sometimes I think there are barriers between the men and the women. You always, I think as a male, you always feel like you're an outsider. And some of the female educators I get on with, and some of the communication is sort of different. Men think in a different way and women think in another way. And I think that can be difficult to do. And I guess during my time, I've had difficulties, trying to deal with that, and, dealing with female educators who are either passive-aggressive or micromanage you and tell you exactly what you need to do because they obviously think you're fucking stupid because you're a male. And then you have others who probably don't think you're not good at it. And, at my current workplace, some of these issues happen from time to time. And I would say that these issues happen at most childcare centres, at most early childhood education centres. And I'm getting a bit tired of it. I feel like I'm trapped. I like working with the children. I'm good with them. They like me. They get on with me. I don't just treat them like a typical educator or teacher where, it's mostly do this, go to the toilet, wake up, go to sleep, eat this, pick up your fork, have you done a poo, have you done this, are you okay? All these sort of directions and that. And I noticed that in the childcare industry, and I try as hard as I can not to be one of those. And that's why when I spend time with them outside in the playground, I try to make sure that I actually have a conversation with them. I actually talk to them about what they do, what they like, what they dislike, what they do on the weekend. We have conversations from anything from turtles to princesses to trucks to pets and animals and families and things like that. And I think one of the main reasons why children get on with me is that I treat them like anyone else. And I try when you're inside the center and you're trying to keep to the routine, because the routine is the all important thing, you do have to be a bit more do this, do that, do that, do that. And when I go outside with them, or it's not one of those periods or those transitioning routines or that sort of thing, I try to also be their friend, I guess. But yeah, I mean, try to have a normal conversation with them, play with them, play games with them, find out more about the personality, what makes them tick. And I think that helps a lot when you do have problems with them and they do have a cry and they have problems, is that they listen to you more because they know that you will take the time and effort to help them out. You're not just seen as a person that points at you and go, do this, do that. And it gets frustrating. It gets really difficult to try to do these sort of things. And I mean, I enjoy working with the children. The adults, on the other hand, can be a little difficult because, children are not that judgmental. They don't pick on things. They don't sit in a group of little friends and chat and that. It's kind of like, it's that before that time, before children become like high school kids, and and everyone's separated into little groups and that. At this age, under 5, they don't give a shit if you're black or white or male or female, or you have orange hair, if you wear glasses or any of that shit. They don't care what background you come with, as long as you're not going to hit them or hurt them, they'll play with you. It's a fairly essential. You treat them nicely, they will play with pretty much anyone. And just working in industry just does my fucking head in sometimes. And I can understand why most men will keep away from it. Maybe I'm insane doing this. Maybe I should have kept to IT and do computers and earn 4 times the amount. And then I had my teachers go, "Oh, Chris, you'll be a great room leader or director." I'm like, and I take a look at the director's job and I take a look at the room leader's job, and a large percentage is paperwork and sitting behind a desk, and I'm thinking, I could just go back to computers and earn more money, and it would be the same thing, really. Just typing and programming, and they are important roles in early childhood education, but I didn't enter the education area to basically spend most of my time doing paperwork. And I don't do that much in my work because I'm casual. It's one of the benefits, I guess. But I'm there to educate children. I want to do the hands-on stuff with them, and that's what I like doing. And it's a really hard job, I think, not just putting away the gender thing. There are times where you probably get more let down by other educators rather than the children, and then you deal with things as a casual and you get sick. I got sick with gastro because a parent thought that having running diarrhea for 3 days was normal for a child. Or you get colds and flus because children go to childcare centres because mum and dad can't take off work, or they don't even notice that their child is sick. So there's all these other challenges that I think most people don't see on the outside. And it's just really difficult times. And I think that there'll probably be people who will watch this and go, yeah, I get where you're coming from. And sometimes as a male educator, you feel like just, chopping off your penis and go, "Oh, look, girls, I'm one of you now. You can talk to me now." And, there's no huddle groups with male educators because there's not enough of us. And it's just, you would have thought that with women being probably the most discriminated groups in history, it would probably be a little more understanding. And who knows, I might feel great tomorrow working, or I might just feel like shit again. And that's a hard part, it's, well, sometimes a child will come up and say something really nice to me and it just makes your day. A smile or a hug or something like that might just change my day, or just a small little thing. And it's a really hard thing. It's a tough thing. And I don't know what I'll do. I don't want to be one of those people that just gives up and go, oh, it's too hard for me. I've stuck this thing out for 3.5 years in the industry and study and all that sort of thing, and I'm happy being an assistant. I don't see myself going up any higher than that. I don't see the appeal in it for myself, because I like to be I want to be the stormtrooper, I guess, interacting with the children as much as I can, and and that sort of thing. But it is hard. It's, I don't know. I don't know if anyone else is watching this who was into, teaching and things like that, and it's weird because I didn't think I could do this sort of thing 10 years ago. I knew a couple of people who were doing childcare education. I thought, oh, I'm a male. This is not what men do. Oh, children, they're so bloody difficult. But, I was that guy like my uncle, where children will come up and just start randomly talking to me. And I don't know why. Maybe I've got that face. Maybe because I'm still a kid myself. I skipped my childhood. I basically started my adulthood from probably like 10 or 12 years old. So I don't really know what my real age is mentally. And, I thought of something, a line that I thought, the sort of the quote of, you have to be an adult in your head and a child in your heart. And I tried to do that the best I can. And I think that the problem is when problems happen at work, the child in the heart gets a bit hurt. And it gets a bit upset. And I don't know what to do. I guess I'm feeling a bit dejected at this point. And I don't know. I don't know what to do. I guess I'll just keep on going on. So we'll see how life goes as an educator in the next year or two. Because I don't know, mentally, I don't know if I can keep doing this sort of thing. So that's it from me. And goodbye.